Hi guys, Justin here from North 40 Survival, and today we're starting work on our winter camp. So this is the spot I've picked out here. It's got a nice open area in front here. It's facing off to the southeast or south-southeast for good sun exposure. And we've got a nice little spot right here tucked in amongst these trees to build the shelter. So we're going to get started on that. First thing we need to do is clear the area out. Alright, now that we've done that, it's time to go find some forked sticks. So as you can see here, we've got some sticks to make up our ridge poles, and we're going to be doing this with some cordage. The way I'm going to be setting it up, you don't actually have to use cordage. If you're going to use this as a temporary shelter, maybe for a day or two, it wouldn't be necessary, but I'm planning on making this a more long-term one. And so it's probably going to see some snow loads and whatnot, debris on it. So we're going to be using some cordage just to keep it a little solid. We've got two ridge poles here, one for the front, one for the back. The one at the back is just going to be to raise the back of the shelter up a little bit, just to give us a little bit more room. You could just build this as a simple lean-to back down to the ground and you wouldn't need the second set of poles. But I'm going to be using that just for a little more space, make it a little more roomy. First thing we need to do is trim all these down, get all the knots and sharp points off of it so that it won't puncture our tarp that we'll be using for the roof in the back and the sides. And yeah. Alright, now that we've got all of our poles snag free, we're going to start notching the ends of these slightly to fit into the forks on these support posts nice and snug so they're not going to slip off. Okay, got that notched out. Got a nice snug fit, not going to slide anywhere. We'll do that for the rest of them and we'll see you in a bit. So as you can see here, we've got the corners pinned on opposite sides, and we've just got a couple of support poles holding that front up. So there's our basic frame for the front of the shelter. We've got a couple of support poles on either side that are holding up these ends. And if you're going to be doing this without any type of cordage for temporary shelter, that would be fine. It's quite sturdy, pinned to the tree and then it's jammed to the ground. Obviously we're not going to be pounding any posts into the ground at this time of year, it's all frozen. As you can see, it's quite sturdy. It's not going to move anywhere, but because this is going to be more of a long-term shelter, we're also going to be fastening it on with cordage. Now that we've got the front of the shelter complete, we're going to take these two shorter fork sticks about 3 feet long and our second ridge pole here, and we're going to make the back, tie it all together into another frame. Alright, now that we got that tied together, this will form the back of our tarp shelter once we get it all strung up together. Alright, so now we've got the frame set up. As you can see here, we added some braces around the bottom side to help stabilize and also to tie our tarp to. And we've also done the same thing around the top. And then we've added a couple of X braces there to help support our tarp and also to give it some rigidity. As you can see, pretty sturdy, not going to fall over. Now we got to put our tarp on. Alright, so now we got our tarp over top here. This is just an ordinary 12 by 16 tarp that I picked up at Canadian Tire, nothing special about it. It's not going to see a lot of direct sunlight here in the summer under the trees, so we don't have to worry too much about it. It'll last for a few years. So the first thing you want to do is find your center point, which is for me this crease here. And we're going to start tying the eyelets down to our frame and stretch it down over the back. Alright, now we've got the tarp stretched out. We're going to basically lift this and pin the tarp underneath it to hold everything nice and tight. One of the advantages of not being driven down into the ground is you can lift it up, hold everything in place. Alright, now we've got our shelter complete. Just to make it airtight, we're going to bank up some snow around the bottom on the outside there. Don't want any cold drafts in here in the winter. In the summertime it might be nice, but not when it's 20 below. Alright, that's our basic tarp shelter. We're going to make some improvements to it in some future videos. Going to be building a raised sleeping platform and whatnot. Perhaps a bit of a rain shelter for the front of it as well. But that's going to be it for today. I'm Justin for North 40 Survival. And remember, if you like this video and you want to see more, remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.